Okay, so welcome back, Bright on the Beat. This is our second shift as Officer Frank Miller, literally coming back from where we left off after our first shift. We got our first star for patrolling, doing parking violations, and now we're on another foot patrol, coming away from
We've
North
received
Point.
complaints about speeding drivers, officer. Perhaps you can pay special attention to that.
Of course.
And what our last shift enabled us to do was to utilise the radar gun and deal with speeding vehicles. Now that doesn't mean we can physically stop speeding vehicles, certainly not on foot at this stage because we still don't have the pullover sign enabled, but in the little traffic or parking patrol car here, technically you could then go after a vehicle and cause it to stop. But for the speeding vehicles option, what you're looking at is radaring them, and when they're I go for about 5 miles an hour over the speed limits. There's a guy up there who just went running across the road, jaywalking. What I need to check on here is that we have got most of the violations activated. CP deduction is enabled, and in order to test that, because last time I'm not convinced CP deduction was enabled. So if I go running across the road here, it's not deducting points, don't know. So the speed limit on this section of road here is 15 miles an hour. Got our radar gun out. Cross back over this side of the road. Should see vehicles coming towards us. And you just point at the vehicle, tell you what speed it's doing, 20.6 miles an hour, report that. And there you go, immediately you get 20 points because the speed limit down here is 15 miles an hour. 16. I wouldn't normally report that. Let's find out what happens if we do. Still get the 20 points. So my personal feel is about 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. But literally, if it's a mile an hour over the speed limit, you can report it. 18, boom, 17.6. A to report on the Xbox, another 20 points. So you don't have to look for long to find speeding vehicles. You don't want to zap the same one twice. It'll simply say you get no points for it, and you don't get additional points for that. So we can Y on the Xbox series equips and re-equips your last bit of kit, so you don't have to keep going into the wheel. RB will automatically draw your taser for you. You can put that away with RB. And otherwise you have to go into the equipment wheel to select different types of equipment that you want on there. So that speed limit there was 15 miles an hour. I thought I changed this last time I was on here to showing current speed limit. I did, but for some strange reason it's come back again. Oh, was that my taser? Go back to radar gun. There we go. There we go. So when you equip the radar gun, you can now see in the bottom right corner you've got 35 miles an hour being displayed, and that's because on this particular section of road 35 miles an hour is the speed limit. There we go there. So there we go. So point deduction is working on this because I've just zapped a vehicle doing 0 mile an hour. Press the button to report it with an A, and it lost me 5 points. So we know that point deduction is working on this. 5 miles an hour. So I've heard some feedback from various different players that's standing on the overhead gantries up here. You can laser vehicles in all directions. I generally find that standing somewhere the traffic is flowing past you in the midsection is a good way to go. So if, for example, we were to jump in the little patrol car here and zip down to the bypass, can do that. I'll run down in this occasion. And while you're early parts of the game, keep an eye out for any parking violations, because again, the more points you get in this early part of the game, much quicker you'll get through these early stages, and then it opens up a lot more of the game to you. This guy's got both wheels up on the pavement there. It looks like his registration permit is still in date. He is a taxi, but that doesn't mean he can stick his car wherever he likes. So parking ticket on the sidewalk, half up on the sidewalk. There we go, get 10 points for reporting that parking violation there. Another Blackbird Theatre. If we walk past this, we should that should appear as a point of interest. There we go, Blackbird Theatre. And that male there's just dropped that bottle. You can see it's rolling around. You saw him in the picture there, threw it to the floor. So we can detain him for littering. Probable cause they call that. Detained for infractions, which is littering.
I had to detain you because I saw you littering.
Oh, I wasn't really paying attention. Sorry.
You get a little bit of feedback at the top. This person looks nervous, and if they look nervous, you can at very least frisk them. So for our own officer's safety,
Kindly allow me to frisk
now
you in case you have any illegal items.
if there's anything of interest on him. That's a very basic pat-down search, basically. He is in possession of a handgun.
Please show
so
me your
we'll go
ID.
immediately to an ID check, mainly because he committed the
Yes, officer. There you
offence
go.
of littering, but also to see whether he's got a handgun permit in Franklin. So you can see there immediately a driver's licence for Raphael Brown. The picture looks the same, and you can see in the bottom right corner there that he's got gun permit. No, we always go to a computer check, and we have a look on there, make sure that the photograph matches the photograph that the person is producing, because sometimes I'll stick a different photograph over the top, and when you do a computer check it's a completely different person. You can see there he's got no gun permit, no concealed weapons permit. He's got an invalid insurance, but he's not driving a vehicle. He's got some convictions for robbery and child abuse. So in this case, this guy's carrying a handgun, so in addition to having dropped litter, we can issue him a violation for littering. But if on the Xbox I press X to select violation and then come back out of that and go to handcuffing, select illegal weapon possession, and then X carrying gun without a permit, when I press Y,
You're being
issue all
arrested.
You
violations,
could
he's
arrest
being
me for
arrested.
all these reasons? I'm
Well, I wouldn't
sorry.
issue him a ticket for littering and then arrest him for carrying a handgun, so he's going to be in custody for all those violations. So he's in for that.
Put your
We'll do a
hands
quick
up
search and
slowly,
make sure he's
please.
got nothing else
Going
on
to
him that
search
we
it.
haven't found on the frisk that he shouldn't have on him. So we found a handgun earlier, got wallet, letter, keys and chocolate, nothing else that we want to worry about. So at this stage we can't escort arrestees to the police station, even though it's just around the corner. We know when more duty starts or something like that, so we just go for a call arrest
I need
transport.
backup to take a subject into custody.
Understood. The closest available unit will be dispatched to your location.
How are you?
I just pulled up next to you, partner. I'll be there soon. Hello? I'm here to bring your suspect into custody. Please do not resist and come with me to the patrol car.
If I have to.
Just keep an eye on him while he wanders to the police vehicle. Hopefully she'll open the doors, put him inside. Lovely, and then he goes. So there we go, so it just goes to show, now we've lost 17 points there, so let's have a look at why we lost our 17 points. Right, let's have a look. Justified, frisk, found no illegal item. Okay, so what we're seeing here, unfortunately, is a perfect example where the game has glitched because it should have recognised that he had a gun, he hasn't got a gun permit, and that the arrest was perfectly justified. So, unfortunately, this is why I think the developers brought out the option to turn off the CP deduction, because in cases like that, you're perfectly justified in doing what you're doing, and you lose points for doing it. This one's far too close to the crosswalk here, blocking vision for traffic approaching. So you can have a ticket for parking too close. Open warrant on the driver or the owner as well, so we can recover that vehicle in addition to ticketing it for being too close to the crosswalk.
I've got a car here that needs towing. Can you send a record of my current location?
There's a traffic jam in your vicinity. Tow truck will be sent to your location as soon as the route is clear.
Okay, lovely. So our whole point of this particular deployment today was to do speeding vehicles, wasn't it? So if I wander down, so we can see the speed limit there is 35, in case you're not sure, and if you decide to go for full realism and turn the show speed limit sign off, what I tend to do is I'll walk about midway down the section here, and then I can laser vehicles or radar vehicles going in both directions. And as we're walking down as well, we can have a little shifty and see if any vehicles are in violation of parking restrictions again, because the more points you get at this early stage in the game, much easier it is to progress through and get to the more exciting stuff.
Hey, officer.
Now you saw me look there, that number plate, look, you can see already from a distance, at a quick glance, it's a darker style of the year. Now if you walk around here you'll probably find that the registration plate on this vehicle is expired. What have we got here? June 22. It's quite hard to see actually. I don't know if my flash, no, you haven't got flashlight yet. Looks like June 22. So that has expired. We can issue a ticket for that, and we can also have the vehicle recovered because expired license plate is a towable violation, even with the
I've got a car here that
keep
needs
it not
towing.
present.
Can you send a record to my current location?
Sure. The wrecker is en route to your location.
I also notice here that all the traffic's flowing in one direction this side of the road, and look, this person's decided to park facing traffic. Number plate looks like it's in date, which it is, but it's parked in the wrong direction, so we can have that ticketed as well. Wrong direction. The more points you get at this stage, the better. Because you're used to recognising when there's an offence and when there's not as well. So while that's a recovery vehicle holding up traffic on lane 1, we'll nip across to here. And what we find is if we then equip our radar gun, up pops the speed limit in the bottom right corner, and we can radar vehicles travelling in both directions at this point. We can just stand here, let the passing traffic go in one direction, and let the oncoming traffic come from the other way. You can see all the traffic coming in both directions. Relatively safe from being struck by a moving vehicle. We are quite close to the junction behind, but you should find that most vehicles passing us should be flowing at fairly decent speed. There will be certain locations. I don't do a lot of speed enforcement in this game. Once you get to the much more exciting parts, you should find that those dual carriageways are the place to capture vehicles that are speeding, but typically enough when I'm standing here you'll find that's not really the case. And this is just by pulling the left trigger on the Xbox, brings up the radar gun. If you drop it, if you release the left trigger, he drops it down, holds it ready. Still look around for what else is going on. Just point it, and then when you're ready, pull that right trigger, and you get the picture of the vehicle down there. We don't want to report that one, so we just press B to disregard. Gone. This one looks like it's going a fair bit. 43, boom, done. It was going a bit quick. He's doing 37. Report him just to build up our points. Normally I wouldn't, I'd wait until he's 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. But in his case, it's fair game. Because we're just trying to build up our points. Now very occasionally, if you were to zap a vehicle really far away, you might find that it's not able to actually capture the number plate of the vehicle. Let's have a look. No, got that one. If the angle's wrong, if you do it a little bit quick fire, hip fire maybe. No, got that one as well. No, it's getting them all today. The system's obviously working very well. Couple more minutes here and then we'll move to another location, one of the slower roads, and maybe because again the little loop round the back of North Point, they're often speeding past the park there. It's a pedestrianised area as well. Fast that van going.